Well, protesters have once again returned to Tahrir Square. Blood has been spilled and emergency has been declared in Cairo's hospitals. The tension's certainly escalating there. Has the Spring Revolution been in vain?
The first revolution had appeared to be actually the first part of the revolution. We were all cheated into believing that the revolution is over. We succeeded. We managed to overthrow the Mubarak regime. This was all wrong. The Mubarak regime is still in power. It is fighting back. It's kicking. The same corrupt regime is out there, only cheating us, the population and the world, into believing that they are going to start this transition to our democracy, while everything they are doing was to conspire into holding into power, just trying to strengthen themselves and to be stronger, to be able to fracture the people and the opposition, trying to get people falling in sectarian violence and confrontations and so on. And by the way, I would like to add another remark. The protests over there in Tahrir, since they started, they have nothing to do with Muslim Brotherhood in these day and a half of protests so far.
So who are the main protesters then? There are thoughts that it's Islamists and just young activists. Is it a broader range than that?
Islamists in general don't want to take any part in these protests. They say that elections come first and they would rather wait for elections, and they are betting that probably in the elections they can win.
Well, that's
so
exactly
they don't want
then.
anything
Why then, if those elections are so imminent, why are people not being patient and waiting to express their views by casting their votes?
We do not believe that elections would mean much. We can see through this, and we can see that the Supreme Council of Armed Forces, or SCAF, they are entrenching themselves in power. They are trying to make deals. They are forging deals with some Islamist powers in order to divide the cake among themselves and leave nothing for the people.
So you're saying that if there is a democratically elected government, in fact, it will be totally influenced by the military?
That's if you actually assume there could be a democratically elected government. We do not believe that the upcoming elections will be free and fair in the first place, so it will not be a democratically elected government. Of course, under the attempts that the SCAF is trying to influence everything, they are controlling totally the media. They are having a very blunt interference in everything in this country, and they even say bluntly and quite frankly to us, "Did you think that you had a revolution? You're mistaken. We are still here."
This isn't exactly what the West wanted, is it? After Mubarak fell, what reaction do you expect to get from Western countries over this current protest now?
We've had a bad experience before. The world didn't start siding with us until we were actually prevailing out there in the street. So I don't know now how the reaction is going to be. I hope it will not be as disappointing. I hope it will be a reaction that will immediately side with the Egyptian people in their aspirations for freedom and democracy.
Well, are you not expecting a reaction fairly soon? Because clearly tensions are building very, very quickly there. This clearly a lot of this has been going underneath the surface, but for many viewing what's going on in Cairo at the moment, many thought that actually this was the pathway to a democratic future. Surely you are expecting a reaction pretty soon from the West, aren't you?
No, I'm not expecting a quick reaction from the West. We can see that all the ammunition used against us is either American or Israeli, or actually Italian, whether it's the tear gas canisters or the bullets that are used against our comrades,
So you're saying
friends.
it's actually Western support for this military government in the way it's dealing with this current crisis?
Yes. All the ammunition that they have received is 2011. It's presumably revolution, and they are used for oppressing population. So they are used to kill this revolution and empower them. So I don't know what can be the excuse of actually giving the armed forces and the security this type of ammunition. There are some very new and very kind of experimental ammunition that we keep experiencing. They are using so many different kinds of ammunition against us. The problem is some of them are acid-based, like with the tear gas, and some of them are alkaline-based. And the canisters, some of them would actually fire like a large amount of what seems to be kind of rubber bullets. So it's not only that rifles are shooting rubber bullets, rubber-coated bullets, they are of course coated. And there are all sorts of things that they are experimenting on us. That's why we have thousands of injured. They don't care about the injured. They just stormed the hospital a while ago, about maybe an hour ago, with tear gas and with everything in their attempt to retake the square. The whole world probably had seen on television how they were setting property on fire, like vehicles, motorbikes, and shops on fire, like they did last night, in order to charge us in the revolution that we are the ones doing the sabotage.
Ahmed, just finally, briefly then, are we seeing a second revolution now in Egypt?
I think we are not seeing a second revolution. I think we are seeing the same revolution. We are still ongoing, trying to get rid of the same regime. We are still fighting the same fight. We are back to where we have stopped. We stopped on February 11th, but we are resuming now because we were cheated into believing that we got rid of the regime. The regime is still out there, and we are there until we get rid of it.
Ahmed Saleh, thank you very much indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us live there in Cairo. Political activist Ahmed Saleh with his points of view on the developments there in Cairo. Thank you.